Hello there. Today I'm going to tie a fairly large pike fly. This is a pattern that I've caught a lot of pikes on, and a pattern that has worked very well. I'm going to tie it in orange because orange is one of my favorite colors for pike flies in general, and I'm going to tie it on a tube because tube flies have some advantages over regular hooked flies. I can get the hook with a tube. I can get the hook moved further back into the wing, which will make the fly hook more fish, and also it's very easy for me to apply a lot of different pieces to make this fly move as I want it in the water. First of all, I'm gonna put one of these this is a Pro nano tube, and this is a Pro drop weight. This I'm gonna add because it adds a lot of weight to keep the fly positioned in the water where I want it, because I'm gonna put a lot of materials on this fly. It's important to have some weight added in the beginning as well. After that, I'm gonna apply one of these discs. This is a Pro nano tube, and no, not nano tube. It's a Pro sonic tube, and this I add because it will keep all the materials spread out a lot, and make sure that the fly will push a lot of water in front of it. So just gonna close the window there, like that. So now we're ready. First of all, we need some marabou, we need some ram's wool in orange, we need some Pro soft heads, some 3D eyes, some gold flesh, some big fly fiber, and some saddle feathers in orange. And these kayak saddles are amazing. There are an abundance of feathers. I've never seen a quality quite like this. This is something that I tries very hard to keep a decent stock of in the shop, but things are a bit difficult with the American women using these in their hair as often as they do right now. But check it out on the website. I tend to pride myself that I'm able to find something and have these whenever it's possible. So drop by to see if I have them. Yeah, well, good. So first of all, we're going to tie a hackle made from marabou. This we do because we want this fly to be to have a lot of volume. So I'm taking a whole marabou feather and just tying this down like this, and then just turning it. Marabou is a very nice material because it's amazingly lively in the water, and yeah, well, and pikes tend to like that. Of course, marabou is one of the materials that will suffer the most severe beating from the pike's teeth. But if you build your fly the correct way, this marabou will last for numerous pikes. Or muskie. You could probably use this fly for muskie as well if you're watching this from a place where you actually have muskies. Like that. I'm gonna cut this little piece of feather stem off, and we're gonna take some big fly fiber. This is a fairly long, very nice material. It's very curly in one end, and then it gets straight in the other end, which makes it move a lot of water and give the fly a very nice drift in the water and a very nice hover effect in the water, which pike loves. So I'm just going to tie down a bundle of this, applying a lot of thread. That is one of the keys to pike flies. Use a lot of thread to make sure that your materials are fastened nice and tight, because you want them to last for more than just one pike. Cutting that off. like that. Then I'm gonna apply some flesh. And we'll take a bag of this soft flesh or whatever flesh you're using. Then you will probably almost every time see that it's put on one of these strips. And if you want to have the flesh in a greater length than what the company who sold it to you has decided it should be, you can just, if you're careful, you can just take out a bundle and then take it out, and then you'll lose a little, but then you'll have the flesh in its full length, which is quite cool. Also, if you want to do it differently, you can take the whole bundle here and just move it, but that has to be on the first time when you open this bag, because otherwise you will lose a lot of flesh. You can see like this. And now I have a very short end and I have a very, very, very long end on my flesh. It won't fit in the bag no more, but you will have the flesh in the desired length to make for pike flies. This is a good trick which I use a lot. So like that. Taking this flesh and tying it in, so it's gonna be approximately the same length as my wing. But before I do that, I take and make these ends uneven. So they will move under different pressures from the currents which this fly will generate. So now that I've tied that down, to make sure that this is fastened correctly and it's gonna stay where I want it. I don't know why this one is so curly. Just gonna cut it, so I don't like that. And not to waste this flesh that is hanging out in front, and to make the flesh wing more in numerous layers, I'm gonna take it and turn it back like that. Don't waste any materials while tying pike flies. That's not what you want to do. You just want to have as much materials on there as possible. Like that. So far so good. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take another bundle of big fly fiber. No, actually we're going to make a hackle of marabou first. Take this bundle of marabou here. Not a bundle of marabou, this marabou feather, and tie it in exactly like you did before, because this fly is going to be tied in 2 stages, which is exactly the same as one another, just to give it more density and make it bigger and more voluminous. Is that how you say it? Voluminous, I think it is. Well, sorry if my English is not up to standard every time. I'm just a crazy Dane trying to spread out the word and the joy of fishing for pikes and all other sorts of fish in the water. So please bear with me if my English from time to time slips a bit. It's not my native language, as you probably have guessed already. Like that. Cutting that off. Well, when I said before that this is going to be exactly the same as before, I was a bit hasty, because what we are doing now is to give this even more volume. I'm going to do another trick. I'm going to make a dubbing loop like this. And then we're going to make a hackle completely out of flesh. So I have the dubbing loop. I'm going to put that aside for a second. Tie all of this down here, like that. And then I'm going to take a bundle of flesh. And just to make this interesting, you see now I have a very long bundle of flesh, and I'm gonna take and then cut some of it so I have two uneven lengths. So I have a fairly long one and a shorter one, like that. Then again I'm gonna do the trick so the ends are not gonna be completely even, like that. I'm gonna do that with the long one as well. Gonna put these two on top of each other. And then this is going inside the dubbing loop. Like that. I'm gonna distribute it evenly throughout the dubbing loop. I'm gonna take my dubbing reel, put it in the loop, hold everything fast, nice and controlled, spinning the loop. Doing this a lot of times because I want to make sure that when I let loose that these flash strands will be entangled in between the thread, like this, like that. And then you see you have something that looks completely like mayhem. And this technique is very, very, very cool for pike flies, because when you do a hackle like this made from flash, you will have a fly that moves very, very nicely in the water, that swims very, very good, and also that is when the flash is moving at every chance it gets, from every current, from every little ripple your fly will create, this flash will pulsate and really, really come alive. Like this. Turning the flash hackle. I like the sound of that flash hackle. Hold everything back. Force everything back, if you will. Like that. I tend to say like that a lot, I think. Please comment if that's something that annoys you. Comment in the video below here, because I'll try to refrain from that phrase then. If it's annoying, then I sincerely apologize. So there we go. And just to keep everything where we want it to be, I'm gonna apply some thread on top of the flash to keep it controlled. There you go. So, next stage is to take another bundle of big fly fiber, approximately the same amount as the first time. Something in the magnitude of this size. Cut that off, and once again tie it down so it has the full length. Then we're going to add the last but very important and very, very nice looking feature. We're going to take 6 to 8 of these saddle feathers and just tie them on there in full length, so they will be approximately the same length as the wing of this fly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, something like that. These kayak feathers are amazing, truly amazing. See the length of this? It's unbelievable. These give some nice, a nice contrast to the rest of the fly. And in the water, these hackle feathers will swim like like they were born to do it. Which they probably weren't, but just gonna take this up here. Turn it over. You can't see me, but you can see what I'm doing in a second when I have applied a couple of these feathers. They really come alive, these feathers, in the water, and give this fly the final deadly touch. I've used this type of fly in many colors, and orange and pink and green chartreuse is three of my absolute favorite colors for this fly. They work truly amazingly. I can't say for muskie, but for northern pike, they are truly amazing. Take this last one. There you go. Cutting off all the stumps from the feathers, making that a clean cut, like that. I did it again, despite my effort not to. And now it's time to apply some ram's wool. This is kind of the crucial part of this fly. Just get something that is a bit better. This one is a bit better. Because what it all comes down to is the material here. You need to have something that is the right length to make this fly complete. So I'm taking a bundle of this ram's wool or sculpin wool. This material has two names. Ram's wool is the most commonly used, but it also goes by the name of sculpin wool, depending on what company you buy it from. Take a bundle of this, fairly large bundle like this. And then, just to be sure, I'm going to take out all these little annoying short hairs down in the bottom of this. I'm going to do that with my scissors. Remove all of that. And I'm going to tie this down so that it actually is facing what you probably would think would be the wrong way. Like so. I'm gonna take a lot of pressure, and even though this thread is rather strong, I actually managed to apply too much pressure there. Well, shit happens. Back in business. I'm making sure that this is where I want it. So then I'm gonna make a whip finish. Pull this up to and fasten it correctly. cut that off. And then I'm gonna trim all of the big fly fiber that is facing what I would say the wrong way. I mean, you can see what I'm doing here. I'm trimming all the big fly fiber that is pointing towards the back of the fly, because we don't need that, and that also can. The more big fly fiber you have on this fly, the more likely to float this fly will be. So, just gonna cut all of the materials I don't need straight off there, like that. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this and make sure that it is in every, spread it out so it will be in every direction at once. Then I'm gonna pull all of this back using my soft head, and then you'll have this halo effect from all the ram's wool down the length of this fly, like so. That looks rather awesome, I must say. So, to finish this fly off, I'm taking some super glue. This has need to just make a hole down the super glue bottle. I think it seems to always have this problem. The glue keeps on, how do you say that? Keeps on, I don't know the English word. Drying, of course. Keeps drying inside the bottle, so you have to kind of like stick your dubbing needle in there, applying the eye on top of the super glue. It's very important to use super glue on these soft heads, because the glue that is on the back of 3D eyes is not really strong enough to keep your eye on its designated location. So apply some super glue. Of course, when you've caught 10 pikes on the same fly, then you might lose an eye. But you can also apply some super glue again, and the eye will continue to be there. Or you can put another eye on there. And there you have it. The orange bastard. Mind-blowingly alive and awesome fly for a pike, and I am dead sure that this will attract some muskie as well, if a muskie is nearby. Last thing you have to do is take the fly off your vise. Cut the tube with your scissors, like that. Oh, I did it again. And just apply a bit of heat up here. And what I was doing there was, as I applied the heat, so that the plastic tube kind of pulled itself back, and then to be sure that there was room enough for my leader, I just put it over the tube needle once more. Well, those were the words. Thank you very much.